What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of the Amazon Prime original movie, Cinderella. This film is, of course, directed by Kate Cannon. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome! Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like any of these videos, awesome! Hit that like button, as well as commenting below on any video that you watch, including this one. So here we are, 2021 version of Cinderella, the well-worn, well-beloved fairy tale adaptation of the umpteenth movie. The story, as we all know, about a young girl who's under the thumb of her evil stepmother and stepsisters. She's kind of like Harry Potter in a lot of ways for the current day crowd. And in essence, she believes of a better life. She wants to find that prince. She makes dresses and talks to mice or whatever. And on top of that, we have a prince who's under the guise or the thumb of his father, who's looking for that princess, to have a life with, to have kids, and so on and so forth. He ends up throwing a ball. Cinderella is not allowed to go to the ball thanks to the evil stepmother. But in essence, she finds the fairy godmother who allows her to be a princess for a few hours. When Cinderella gets to the ball, she ends up having to leave at midnight. She loses, of course, her glass slipper. And the prince ends up finding her at the end. The evil stepmother is banished. And Cinderella gets everything she wanted. Happily ever after, becomes a princess for life. And so it's a well-worn story, a well-beloved story. It's a story that we all know. That's the very quick version of that story. But it's a story that's been told a billion times before in all kinds of formats, whether it be books or music or animated storytelling or live action storytelling. So it's not like we haven't heard of it before. It's not like we haven't seen it before. So a new adaptation of this film is not really that surprising. It is not really that offensive because every few years, a franchise like this or a story like this is going to get remade because it makes a lot of money and it brings in a new generation of people who really enjoy these stories. So the most discerning thing about this movie, and I promise I'll talk about some positives in just a minute, but the thing that concerns me most about this movie is not the cast, which includes Camila Cabello, which is actually pretty good in this movie. She's actually the highlight, as well as, like Pierce Brosnan, Minnie Driver, and Billy Porter, and unfortunately James Corden, who's in this movie. It's a movie that has a very promising cast. It has a director who is known for doing blockers as well as writing Pitch Perfect and stuff like that. So it's not something that I was like wanting to hate on. But when I say a movie like this has no identity, it comes to its musical aspect, and what I mean by that is something like the original, or not the original, but the animated Disney Cinderella had a lot of musical moments like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop and stuff like that. But what made that unique and what gave its own identity is those songs were original, they were fun, they were entertaining, they didn't feel like they were not using justification why they're there, and they didn't insult your intelligence. Now, when you come to a film like the 2021 version, when I say it has no identity, it has no identity in the sense that it has turned itself into the Glee version of Cinderella. Now, Glee, of course, is a well-known group that runs through high school, as well as a TV series that was very popular. But the thing about the TV series that they did that really kind of bothered me, and maybe they do that in high school, I don't know, but is they would always sing popular songs. They would always find a way to kind of ingrain itself into the episodes, so on and so forth. And I never found that interesting. I always found that a little contempt when it came to watching a show. But people loved it for some reason, so I think that's what's going to happen here. But that is my main problem with this movie, is the simple fact that they're, in all honesty, using very poor, very contempt versions of very popular songs. Now, they use stuff like Rhythm Nation. They use stuff like I Need Somebody to Love from Queen. They, of course, have Material Girl, and they have all these songs. There's other songs in there that I'm forgetting that not only do they not feel right or justified to be in a movie like this, but they don't feel like or give the movie any uniqueness. They don't give the movie any identity. They make the movie so, I guess I want to say, bland and uninteresting, that it kind of ruins the whole aspect of Cinderella herself. Cinderella is one of these people that doesn't live through life singing Rhythm Nation or live through life singing Material Girl. It just doesn't work in any aspect. This movie would have worked so much better if it had just been given some unique songs. Have the people who created La La Land, the songs for that, have them come in and do songs for this, because it would have made it a much more interesting, much more fun adaptation of the famous classic fairy tale. But here they're just going for the low-hanging fruit. They're just going for the moments where you can, oh, I know that song, and so on and so forth. So it just completely takes the story and just kind of ruins it. It takes you out of the story. It takes you out of the concepts. It makes the actors and actresses in this movie, and they even have people like Pierce Brosnan singing in this movie, which they should never do, and they're giving him these famous songs, and it's so grating in a lot of aspects. It just makes you want to hurl your remote at the TV, and that is just such a shame, because like I said, the cast is doing everything in their power to make this movie interesting as well as they can, and the even though I think the camera work and the kind of set pieces are a little one note and a little not that great, it's not the worst I've ever seen of this movie, of this series of Cinderella in her own right. It's a series that really tries to not only reinvent itself with like a more 2021 version or identity, but it has, like, for instance, the evil stepmother played by Idina Menzel, who is a more three-dimensional character. There's some heart to her character in this movie, and it just completely wasted by having her sing Material Girl. I mean, I'm like, come on. Like, what are you doing? And that is just the main problem of this whole entire movie, is just the fact that it tries to be unique in 2021 and Glee and all that good stuff, and it turns into a very rote, very contempt version of the film, and therefore I think it's just not a very good movie. I really don't. I thought, it was a movie that it was going to be pretty terrible to begin with, but it was even much more worse than I even thought. Some of the dialogue in this movie also is pretty bad, and that's just... I should have known that going into this it was going to be really bad. I tried to justify it by trying to, close my brain down and just kind of go with it. And in the end, I think you should just go watch the Kenneth Branagh version, or go watch Ever After, or go watch the Disney animated version. Go watch a movie that's not only not going to insult your intelligence, going to tell a better version of the story, but is going to be something that doesn't feel shallow and hollow and, a money grab, and just a film that Amazon needed to fill out their slate of dates. And I think you'll be better off, to be fairly honest. Now, with that said, probably some people that'll enjoy this movie. I don't know. I didn't personally like it, so. And so with that said, that's going to be my take on Cinderella 2021 version. Thank you so much for watching. Comments below, if you like the Cinderella story, what is your favorite version of the Cinderella story? What do you like about Cinderella? Are you even looking forward to this version of Cinderella? All that good stuff. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like any of these videos, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.